The United States top infectious diseases expert Dr. Anthony Fauci has given what's expected to be his final White House media briefing before he retires. North America correspondent Barbara Miller joins us now from Washington. Barbara, g'day. So what did Anthony Fauci have to say?
Well, he reflected on a career that began long before the COVID pandemic. He's been a top infectious diseases expert for 40 to 50 years in the US, and he's advised successive presidents, 7 in total, on avian flu, on the HIV/AIDS crisis, on Ebola. But of course, it's only through COVID that we in the wider world have really come to know Dr. Anthony Fauci. And through his handling of the pandemic, he's really a hero to many Americans. When you walk around, you see yard signs in support of him. You can buy all kinds of merchandise, like socks, for example, with Dr. Anthony Fauci's image on them. But to some people, he's a villain. They are angry about the shutdowns, about the vaccine mandates, and they accuse Dr. Fauci of spreading misinformation himself. He's even faced conspiracy theories that he perhaps had something to do with the origins of the pandemic, and he's faced death threats over his very public role during the pandemic. When he was asked today to reflect about what was the most challenging thing about dealing with the pandemic, he said it was the politicization of the debate around public health measures. Let's hear him on that issue now.
When I see people in this country, because of the divisiveness in our country, of not getting vaccinated for reasons that have nothing to do with public health, but have to do because of divisiveness and ideological differences, as a physician, it pains me because I don't want to see anybody get infected. I don't want to see anybody hospitalized, and I don't want to see anybody die from COVID. Whether you're a far-right Republican or a far-left Democrat, it doesn't make any difference to me.
Anthony Fauci there. And Barbara, there's also the possibility that he could be called before Congress.
Yeah, pretty strong possibility. So the House of Representatives, as you know, will go back to Republican control at the start of the new session early next year. And some Republicans in that House, they want to call him before a congressional committee to take those criticisms that they have of his handling of the pandemic to him. He said today that he was relaxed about that. He said, I'm very willing to testify. I've done that many times before Congress. And he said he could defend, explain and stand by everything he'd said. And in terms of what else he's doing, he said that while he's retiring at the age of 81 from this prominent top health official role, that he wants to keep going with the next chapter of his life. He wants to do some writing, some traveling, and he wants to inspire a younger generation, he said, to enter public service as he did. So not done yet, despite being 81. And he, throughout that press conference, it was really classic Dr. Fauci. He also urged people to get vaccinated. The White House is concerned about what they're calling a triple-demic. We've got going into the winter here. There's flu, there's COVID, and there's an uptick in respiratory virus, particularly amongst children. So Fauci very much trying to hammer home that message that he's really been hammering home since vaccines were available, urging people to get vaccinated with the latest version for the sake of their family, themselves and their community.
Okay, Barbara Miller there in Washington.